Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari, and in the series of Evidence Act, we were discussing chapter 2, which is all about relevancy of facts covering from section 5 to 55. In that, we have a small series of discussion which is all about opinions covered between section 45 to 51. We have total of 7 sections in which we have already covered the major section, that is section 45, which is on expert opinions. This video is the continuation on that in the form of section 46, which is covering facts bearing upon opinions of experts. I have a brief session on this. Not wasting any of your time, let's get into the first slide. Section 46 is about facts bearing upon opinions of experts. It discusses about facts not otherwise relevant or relevant if they support or inconsistent with the opinions of experts when such opinions are relevant. That's what section 46 says, and to understand this provision, I have a beautiful chart. Now, here is a fact which is otherwise not relevant, but if the same is supported by or inconsistent with an expert opinion, in such case, the opinion made by an expert are relevant. There are two important provisions here. One, those opinions which are being supported by, or those facts which are being supported by expert opinions, and there are those facts which are inconsistent with the expert opinions. Let us try understand them one by one. I have two illustrations here. The first one, the opinions which are supported by. Like for example, A is saying that X is my son. And when DNA test is done, which is an expert opinion, the DNA test also matches and proves that A and X are father and son. Now here what happened? An expert opinion is supporting the existing relevant fact, and such expert opinion also becomes relevant. The second one is about those which are inconsistent with expert opinions. Like for example, in the same case, if A is saying that X is not my son, but when the DNA test is done, the DNA of A and X are matching, and it is proved by an expert opinion that A and X are father and son. Now, whatever A was telling, it is inconsistent with expert opinion, but such expert opinion which is being given here becomes relevant. That's all we need to understand from section 46. There are two illustrations given in the act. The first one where the question is whether A was poisoned by certain poison or not. Now, if an expert says whatever symptoms were being shown or exhibited by A was similar to those who earlier have shown the same, in that case the poison is same. That is what expert opinion coming in there, and that opinion becomes relevant. Likewise, in the second illustration, there the question is whether an obstruction to harbor is caused by a certain seawall. In the same time, same day, if there were several other people who have felt the same thing, in that case the same opinion made by an expert will become relevant, and these are the two illustrations which are given under this particular act. Let us now focus on few important case laws. The first one, that is Muhammad Aman versus State of Rajasthan. In this case law, there was a detailed discussion on whether to consider footprints as an evidence or not. Now, it was held that as the identification of footprint is not yet a complete developed science, we cannot rely upon this, which is came as an expert opinion. As there is lot of improvement needs to happen, the same cannot be considered as any kind of important evidence. But however, if there are all other evidences which are helping an accused to convict, in that case this can be used as an additional evidence. That is what held here. So what we need to understand here is, to consider any kind of expert evidence, we need to have sufficient science developed in that particular space. Only then we can rely upon. The second case law is Emperor versus Kudrat. Here in this case law, it was held that only on the basis of height, weight or tooth, somebody's age cannot be derived. If the same is done, that cannot be relied upon 100%. That is what held here. The third case law, that is Shah Nawaz versus State of UP, it was held that when already there are certificates available to prove the date of birth of a particular person, like the school certificates or marks card, etc., there need not to take any kind of expert opinion. That is what held here. If already date of birth documents are available, for the same, again, one need not to take any kind of expert opinion, because these school certificates or marks cards are reliable documents and the same need to be relied upon. The fourth one, very important case law, that is Malai Kumar Ganguly versus Sukumar Mukherjee, where it was held that an expert opinion is advisory in nature. While taking an expert opinion before concluding anything, the court needs to be very cautious before concluding anything. And the court also need to give opportunity to both the parties to prove or disprove an expert opinion. All of these are discussed in this particular case law. Before concluding, I would like to discuss 4 important duties, roles or importance of the expert opinions. The first one, an expert opinion is an advice only. That is what we discussed in Malai Kumar Ganguly versus Sukumar Mukherjee, that the expert opinion is an advice only. It is not a conclusive evidence. This is an advice which is given on the basis of knowledge, experience or observation that an expert has made over a period of time. The second one is, an expert is not a witness. Here an expert makes his opinion based on his knowledge, experience, observation, etc., and his opinion is not a witness. That is what we need to remember. The third one, court will assess the expert opinion and then it will decide whether to consider the expert opinion or to ignore the expert opinion. It is completely the discretion of the court. And the last one, an expert doesn't have deciding power. He is only an advisor to the court. He can suggest or he can say on the basis of his knowledge, experience or observation that this may be this or this is this. He can say that, but he cannot conclude by saying anything in the court. That is all we need to understand from this particular section.
Oh my god! What am I seeing? Lot of colorful balloons, lot of flowers, and what? This cycle is flying? I can't believe this.
Ishan, what's happening there?
Nothing, Papa, coming there. With that, I am concluding this session. Please subscribe our channel. Please like, share and comment our videos. Thank you. Bye-bye.